It's January 2019. People are starting to diet now. They're looking out, they're trying to figure out what can I eat. Well, guess what? I've been dieting for years now, and these are gonna be my top 5 fat loss tips and keto hacks for 2019's diet year. Let's go. I am Darius, this is Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube. And let's talk a little bit about diet today. I have so much experience with this particular subject for, maybe since middle school. I have been dieting. I was a very overweight child. I don't want to say fat kid, but I'm talking about myself, so let's just call it what it is. But I'm gonna dive right into these top 5 hacks. The first one is whole food. And you may be saying, this is, of course, I know, that's like very simple. But no, it's not as simple as you thought. When I say whole food, I mean great recipes. Oh, that's simple too. No, it's not. You'd be amazed how many people start the keto diet and they ask themselves, well, what do I eat? And then they go straight for chicken. Now, of course, I understand the thought process behind this, but when you start keto, one of the first things I tell people is when I'm speaking to you, please, everything you thought you knew, don't know it anymore. Like, toss it out the window. This is very, very critical that you do so. There are about to be so many things I can sit here and list to you, and traditionally, you're gonna sit here and say to yourself, well, that's not a diet. Key, it isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle. And when you're doing keto, like, you have so many options, it's ridiculous. I would go on Pinterest and I would find a particular keto blogger or a low carb blogger, either one will work. Maybe even paleo on some recipes. And you have to try out their recipes. You have to test them, and you have to see who's the most consistent. When it comes to my food, I have this philosophy: the pictures bring them in, and the recipes keep them. There have been so many pictures I've seen, and they were like amazing looking, and the food was just downright like disgusting. But the way I take when it comes to my food blogging is I feel like I care so much about what it tastes like, because I think that's what keeps them coming back. If you know this particular blogger, when they release a recipe, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be A1. The only time that you may not like it is when it just comes to personal preference, when it's just not your thing. But enough about myself. Let's move on to number 2, fast food. Now, these are things I use myself. All right, so let's just say I'm starting out, and depending on if I don't have any recipes like that, I'm going to crave. I want to crave something delicious. I want to crave something I've loved, something I've eaten before. This is why fast food hacks are like so important. There are things on Facebook and Pinterest telling you exactly, if you go to Wendy's, you can have this. If you go to McDonald's, you can have this. If you go to Subway, you can have this. If you go to Chipotle, you can have this. Those things are so critical, because even though you may go and you don't get traditionally what you normally would get, just the taste of the food will calm your nerves. Trust me, I know, I've done it, I lived it. I love hamburgers. Now, they do have smart buns, but when you're first trying out, smart buns may taste a little funny to you. They may not. But let's say you go to McDonald's or you go to Wendy's, that Baconator, the core of the Baconator, the bacon, the mayo, not the ketchup, but the bacon, the mayo, the cheese, these things, the essence of the sandwich are still gonna be there. And just that little taste is gonna calm your nerves. The friends are going out, cool. Let me get a delicious steak and broccoli. Toss butter up there and call it a day. Believe me, the communionship of you just sitting down with your friends and being able to eat as well, it will calm your nerves when it comes to a lot of different things. And not that it's least, but things like real good pizzas, real good food. The real good pizzas, they're like amazing when you're just you need something fast and relatively delicious. And I think, to be honest, like, even people new to keto would like those. I had a girl over once and I had her try the mini pizzas, and she was like, oh wow, they're actually pretty good. Of course, they're not better than Domino's, I guess you could say, but they will get you by. She ate them that night and she was just fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine how they would taste after you've been dieting for a week or 2. Oh yeah, they're more than okay. And the wonderful thing about stuff like that, like, they're kind of expensive, so you're not gonna do it often. So that would be kind of like a nice little cheat, but it's not cheating. You know what I'm saying? Number 3, dairy. Besides the fact of, if you're not lactose intolerant, dairy is a wonderful option. Dairy causes a lot of inflammation in people. You didn't hear this from me. I still do it every once in a while. I do it if I feel like I'm on the edge, like I'm about to just break. Son, we grew up eating cheese and things like that. We grew up on milk. Since you can have cheese is so versatile when it comes to keto. You can make taco shells out of it. You can make little cheese crackers, little cheese crisps in the oven where you just bake cheese down and just eat them the way it is. Even before keto blew up the way it did, they had cheese string in the store. Like, people love to snack on cheese. Now, cheese can get rather heavy on the calorie side, but overall, like, I think it's like a wonderful option to go to. And not to mention, like, if you're going to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, you can really test out different cheeses and have fun with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember, like, I was going and buying cheese every single week, but I digress. It's not about me. Things like ice cream. Okay, so let's say I'm craving and I just started. I will and have gone to get a pint of like Halo Top or Enlighten. This isn't the most efficient thing to do over time, but if you're just starting out, like, I would not be like super hard on myself, because that first break from sugar can be rather rough. And of course, if you do eat a pint of Enlighten or Halo Top, more than likely you're definitely going to kick yourself further out of ketosis if you're not already in it. I would take a pint of Halo Top or Enlighten any day over going to Domino's and eating a medium pizza or a large. Not to mention, and I'm going to actually dig a little bit later for my fifth one, because I made it last for a reason. But things like cheesecake, like the keto cheesecakes, I have my theory when it comes to why keto desserts aren't always very tasty when you first start keto. Because this video is definitely for the keto beginners. For the new people, welcome to the channel. Subscribe. Number 4, fat, and fat. People, when they first start the keto diet, they do not eat enough fat, anywhere near enough fat. As I said, most people, when they start a diet, they think, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll get some chicken, grilled chicken. We're gonna do grilled chicken, all right, you know. They never, like, pork and beef are the last things. And then if they get pork, they like to go for the pork chops. If they get beef, what do they do? You know, most people don't even go to beef when they first start a diet. I have no earthly idea why they do that, or why they don't do it rather. But your fattier cuts of meat and all the fat, they're gonna make you feel like super full. I told someone the other day, I was like, look, when you first start the keto diet, 2 things are gonna happen. You're either gonna have all that fat on you, you're either gonna have all that fat in your stomach, and you're gonna think, I'm not hungry whatsoever, so I'm just not gonna eat, which isn't the wisest, but it's not a bad thing either. Or you're gonna have, why am I hungry, but I feel full? And that's from the lack of carbohydrates in your system, which we'll talk about in another video. But excessive fat is like your best friend when it comes to keto. It's gonna keep you from craving. Well, it's not gonna keep you from craving, but it's gonna keep you from being full. It's gonna keep you from not starving. Starving is the #1 reason people's diets fail, and I will talk about that in a video. I'm going to speak on that in my calories deficit video, which is coming soon. And my number 5, which is my least advisable one, but it is a hack and it is a fat loss tip. These are your keto snacks, your keto desserts, these things like that. Now, let me tell you, it's a hack because when you're craving something sweet, believe it or not, after you've been maybe a week or 2 without sugar, it may help because you can like get a hint of sweetness there. The only thing is, when it comes to like the baked goods, such as your cookies and your cakes and things, breads, you have so many different factors that come from it. See, the thing with dairy, the reason dairy works so well and like cheesecake recipes and ice cream works well is because the textures are the same. The texture in cheesecake and the texture in ice cream are the exact same when it comes to keto and when it has sugar in it. This helps. I stress texture when it comes to my own recipes and anyone else's. Texture is so important. That mouthfeel is everything. And in my theory, when it comes to the baked goods, is okay, so you already have a sweetener, which doesn't taste like sugar, or I suppose it has a minty taste to it, like erythritol, or a bitter taste like stevia. And then you have almond flour, or you're using coconut flour on top of that. These textures are very different from flour, from flour with gluten in it. And you're dealing with so many different texture combinations, and then when it comes to the sweetness, like, it's just, I feel like it's just overloading your taste buds. when it already knows what it wants. You just had cake last week, and now I'm craving cake again, and this is what you give me? Like, what? No. Get out of here. That was disgusting. I didn't mean to spit all over there. I really didn't. I was really trying to do that. All right, anyway, but this is why they don't work as well. Yet, and still in the same, they can be a tool. You just gotta be kind of careful, because if you look at my versus videos, textures on so many things, they vary. Sweetness varies. I mean, I've seen food bloggers when they just want to stick a whole bunch of erythritol in things, and I'm just like, dude, like, why would you do that? Somebody brand new to keto, like, they're gonna be like, this mess is cool. I had someone one time, a friend of mine, I had her try Keto Baking Company's keto granola. That granola is wonderful. She tasted the coolness in it. And it's so funny because I couldn't tell it was really there, because I never eat sugar anymore. Now, I definitely, when you're first starting out, be careful with keto snacks, because they can be a very slippery slope. Now, two things I've seen that tend to happen. One, you're not satisfied. Like, you'll get like that hint of sweetness, but that sweet tooth is still there, and you're not satisfied, and it'll lead you to cheat, you know, and go get the real thing. You'll have all these keto cookies, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's not doing it. I'm running to Miss Fields. I'm running to Subway and get the cookies. I'm running to a cookie place, a bakery, and now you've cheated and put yourself further away from your body weight goals. Or the second thing is, they get them and then they just simply overeat, because they're very like, if they do taste okay to you, it's easy to just keep nom-nomming, like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine how many times you can really sit down at a computer and just eat a pack of Oreos. Like, I know I've done it several times. I would get a pack of Oreos, and by the time I got home, I would have eaten the whole pack. And this comes from not being greedy. Well, yeah, it was greedy, but this comes from just driving in my car. And while I'm driving, I would just, you know, pop a cookie, you know what I'm saying, here or there, grab a cookie here, grab a cookie there, grab a cookie there. And then next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's so easy to do. Especially when you're making things like cookies, because you have several cookies and then they're all just sitting there. So these are my top 5 keto hacks. Whole food, fast food, dairy, fat, and keto snacks. You may say to yourself, some of these things that you recommend aren't great for weight loss. Guess what? They're not great for weight loss. Some of them aren't great for weight loss at all. They are designed to keep you on your lifestyle goal. Like, they're designed to keep you on track. And even when I mentioned the Halo Top pints, those things are gonna kick you out of ketosis. They're not like the best things in the world, but they will keep you where you want to go. They will help anyway. I don't find either one of them ideal, but a pint of Enlighten and versus a pint of Ben & Jerry's, I'm going to take the Enlighten. It's definitely going to keep me under my calories, and it's just not full of sugar. Ben & Jerry's is going to make me get some cookies to go with it and all types of stuff, man. I can't even start. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I am Darius, this is Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube. And these are my top 5 fat loss tips and keto hacks. And I hope you guys have a nice year.